Okay, so we've transferred some of the fuel stores, specifically gasoline, from these 15-gallon containers into the new 400-gallon steel fuel tank. These are great containers. They're 15 gallons. Filled with the gasoline, they weigh roughly 100 pounds. It's something, that handle's pretty strong, made to be able to lift the tote up and move it around. And relatively easy to manhandle. They slide across the floor of the dirt pretty easy. You can get them on a two-wheeler and move them around, no problem. And a couple people can lift them up on the back of a pickup truck, and elevate them above a particular source or whatever for fueling. But these come in very, very handy. You can go on Craigslist, buy them between $5 and $7, $10 at the most. These contain phosphoric acid. You can go ahead and rinse them out and use them straight, or if you feel inclined to, you can add a little baking soda or something to neutralize it, but we've never had any problems storing fuel in these kind of containers here. I can tell you this, you want to tighten them down if you're going to use them for fuel storage. But that said, you have to be cognizant of temperature fluctuations. So in the wintertime, they're going to have a tendency to collapse. And so what you want to do is loosen the bung plugs here and relieve some of that pressure. It's going to be pulling a vacuum in cold weather, and of course in hot weather they're going to expand a little bit, and you'll see them blow up if you don't, not literally blow up as in flames, but blow up. The tops will actually dome out, up a half inch, 3/4 of an inch, and it'll look scary, but it only takes about a pound or two to do that, so it's not critical. But you do want to loosen them up, vent the air, let it relax a little bit, and make sure that they're not exposed to direct sunlight, that sort of thing. And we have them under a shelter, and they're covered in a tarp, and there's wood on top of it, and those sorts of things, which is sufficient for storing fuel temporarily up to several years if you want to. These are very durable containers. A few things here. You're definitely going to want a non-sparking bung wrench. You can buy these on Amazon or eBay. It's made out of aluminum alloy right here, and it fits all of the standard bung tops. It also has a fitting on the other end to take off the vent. Most of these have NPT fittings, National Pipe Threads, American Standard Pipe Threads. And so these are 2-inch, and these here are 3/4 of an inch. Some of them will come with these European bung type, very coarse threads. And like on your 55-gallon HDPE or high density polyethylene barrels that you typically see are blue, some are white, some are black. You'll have one of these and one of the NPTs. If you happen to have an IBC tote, the big square bulk containers that we either store water or make animal shelters out of, they have, some of them have these exclusively on the bottom, and they're the thread configuration for the 2-inch ball valves. And so you may have to go online and buy an adapter, and they do have them. But don't pay more than $4 or $5 for these things. You can go on eBay and find them at a ridiculous price of like $20, $25, $30, even on Amazon. But there's a company online I buy these from, and I think they're $3 or $4 a piece at most. And so they have the IBC, European IBC coarse threads here, and they have the 2-inch NPT adapters on this end here. So if you end up getting stuck with containers that have that coarse thread, you can go ahead and buy an adapter online. Just be diligent and find out where they are. There's a couple of companies that sell these very reasonably priced. That said, if you're going to store fuel for whatever reason, I highly recommend the most superior product on the market, and I'm plugging it here. It's PRI-G, made from PRIproducts.com. You can read the reviews on Amazon. It's an industrial strength product. We have used fuel stabilized with PRI-G. That's almost 2 years old, and it runs in our vehicles with no loss of power, no loss of fuel economy. I can't say that it will increase fuel economy because, of course, we can't duplicate our driving conditions every single time we get in there, but we don't have a loss of average fuel mileage, and there seems to be no loss of power. So I can tell you personally that this is a fantastic product. Well, it's also not necessarily inexpensive. I don't know how it comes out ounce per ounce to stable, but stable is an inferior product as far as I'm concerned. This gallon cost $85 on eBay, but it treats up to 2,000 gallons of fuel. So if you plan on storing fuel in any sort of container for a year or two, That's the product to get. So I'm plugging it PRI-G for gasoline and PRI-D for diesel. Y'all have a good day.